Hello everyone, welcome to another video. And I just want to make a quick mention. This isn't to promote anything or say anything, this is just my review, but here we go. Mega Man 11 is certainly a platformer game. It's supposed to be like this level to level Metroidvania, and apparently I just got into the franchise like a couple months ago, and I've been having quite a fun time with it. The only Mega Man game that I actually played, though, was Mega Man 11 on the Switch 1 to be exact. And honestly, I had a really good time with it. I didn't get frustrated at the game, I didn't have a really bad time. I got used to the controls really fast. And apart from the Nintendo Switch Online Game Boy or the Nintendo Switch Online type of free console emulators that you get, Mega Man 11 is the only game that I actually beat for the Mega Man franchise, and honestly, I can't wait for Dual Override. Dual Override is not my most hyped up game. I'm still waiting for like the next Sonic game or the next still waiting for like the next Kirby game, the next Sonic game. Yeah, but this is my first commentated video in a while. Dang, it's been a little bit. I haven't really improved on my speech or my commentary a little bit on the channel. I'll try and do my best, but I've certainly had a fun time with it. Mega Man 11 is supposed to be like this Metroidvania level to level style where you traverse through not any of the difficult levels, but certainly platformer type levels with a boss at the end. There are a total of 12 stages, or 11 if you count the final stage, which is the final boss. Dr. Wily Machine 11. But yeah, the game includes 6 stages with a final boss stage and a boss rush stage. And they're all pretty fun. But also, Dr. Wily Gear Fortress Stage 1 is also very difficult. But other than that, all the... Did I say 6? I meant 10 stages. Yeah. So, yeah, can't come up with anything. Each stage has like its own theme. There's like a construction theme, there's like a whole block fortress thing, there's an underground sewer type thing. There is a bouncy funhouse theme for Bounce Man. Each stage also has its own themed boss after it. Block Man with the Block Fortress, Acid Man with the Acid Sewers. I'm just naming these randomly. Blast Man with the Blast Man Adventures roller coaster type theme. Fuse Man with the nuclear power plant electric type thing. Torch Man with the dark forest that's randomly gets lit on fire. Impact Man with the whole construction robotics type thing. Tundra Man with the frosty city with all the street lamps and city like atmosphere in the background, and Bounce Man with Bounce Man theme, which is like a bouncy funhouse. Each theme is tied to their each respective boss, as I've listed them out before, and they're all pretty difficult. Honestly, I played the game on casual, not normal or superhero, so yeah, I don't like to challenge myself that much, but that's besides the point. Yeah, each boss wasn't too overbearing. It was actually surprisingly difficult though. Still, they're very simplistic bosses and they're pretty easy to beat with their perspective weaknesses. I did play them in their perspective order, or not in their perspective order. I played them in my own custom order, each stage, and not in the normal order that that other people would go with. That's to say, I had a pretty good interaction. One thing I will note though is that the final boss is a little underwhelming. You just shoot down the eyes of the big skull gear type of hovering boss, final boss, for like a couple minutes. After that, it goes into its second phase, which is like a big gear flying type of pod thing. But other than that, other than the final boss, the game is actually really good. And Gear Dr. Wily Gear Fortress stage 1 is actually really difficult, as I've noted before. That stage is a nightmare for newcomers who have not quite gotten the hang of the Mega Man franchise or its gameplay yet. But I've beaten the game. I 100% the game. Well, not really, because I haven't completed all the achievements in the game. And there's also a couple of things that I have to talk about. Challenge mode, or challenges, which is hidden in the extra modes tab, is just a bunch of really decently designed gimmicks to add to each level. We have like a balloon popping one where you pop the blue ones but not the red ones. You have a time attack, you have a score attack, you have a boss rush. Excuse me. You have excuse me. You have Dr. Light's trial, which is basically like 15 or 30 like Metroidvania style rooms where you have to complete a certain objective, and each game mode also has like an extreme difficulty, which makes everything harder. But I haven't really gotten to that point yet. There's also a couple none of the things. Oh yeah, the shops. So in game, when you defeat an enemy, you get these little collectibles called bolts. They also drop a couple other things like healing pods and energy pods and weapon pods. But the main collectible that you get to spend, which is like a currency, are bolts. They can drop 10 or 100. That's the max that they can go up to. The game is pretty well balanced with its currencies. A 1-up is 50 bolts, which is actually really overpowered. An energy tank, which is basically another life, is 100 bolts. A weapon tank that refills all your weapons and special abilities is 100 bolts. And then the mystery tank, which heals both your energy and your weapon gauges. And if all the weapon and energy gauges are full, then it turns weak enemies into 1-ups, which is surprisingly overpowered. Dang. And yeah, there's also a bunch of other items like there's like spike projectors, which spikes do one-shot you, and they show no mercy in the level design, especially Acid Man stage. That one gave me a really hard time. You could have a max of 3, so you could take like 3 hits before you get one shot by spikes again. There's also beat calls, where if you fall into a pit, which also instant kills you, there's a robotic bird to come and save you. If you do fall into one of these, if you do fall down into like a pit, into a pit. There's also these things called Eddie calls, which give you like random items, random pickups that I don't really use that much, but yeah, it's there. There's also a bunch of other items, like a fan type of thing, which helps refill your double gear. Oh yeah, the double gear. So in Mega Man 11, the main mechanic of Mega Man 11 is the double gear, which both the Robot Masters and Mega Man can use. Um, the double gear basically, so there's two gears. There's the speed gear and the power gear. The speed gear slows everything down, including you, unless you buy the needed attachment, which is the speed gear booster, which increases your speed up to normal and slows everything down. And then power gear increases your special abilities like damage output and also makes them kind of overpowered. The Mega Buster just charges it up like 2 times more, so you get a double Super Mega Buster charge, and then you get the Ultra charge, which basically just it's overpowered. And they're required. They not really required, but there are attachments to the double gear that help it become overpowered. Like I said, the double gear booster speeds you up back to normal speed, but keeps everything slower. There's also the AC unit, or cooler, or whatever it is, a fan or something, that helps recharge double gear way faster than normal. And if you beat the game, you basically get a requirement, which is pretty pricey. It's like 300 volts. You can get the cooling fan infinite, which basically makes the power and speed gear run for as long as you want until for as long as you want, or as long as you have the attachment on, which I never take it off. And you get another weapon based attachment for beating the game, which basically lets you use your special abilities an infinite number of times. And that is very cool and overpowered in almost every stage. Especially because every single stage has a weakness. There was also other attachments like when you get hit by an enemy, you take them with some knockback. There's a attachment called the I forgot the name of it, but there is also an item which basically negates most of the knockback, so you get pushed way less than you normally would. There's also a shock absorber which lets you use a supercharged Mega Buster shot without pushing you back, without knocking you back when you use it. Anyway, next on to the next part. The story. There isn't really much of a story here. It's mostly just Dr. Wily steals all the robot masters again, so Mega Man has to go stop him. But oh no, he has the double gear, which he remembers how to build from his university days. There is a well designed prologue, and an well designed. I mean, like art design. It kind of has like a Pokemon type of animation, but anyway, he basically remembers what his invention was and how he builds it, and he uses the double gear to steal all the Robot Masters from Mega Man and Dr. Light. And yeah, so Dr. Light basically builds a little bit of a weaker prototype of the double gear to install into Mega Man because Mega Man is a robot and not a human with a robot armor type thing, but yeah. And essentially, you have to go stop Wily from, I guess, taking over the world or something like that. There isn't really much of a story. There's only like 3 cutscenes in the whole game, and then just the credits roll. After you beat all 12 stages, then the credits roll, and you have successfully beaten the game. And then you get all those overpowered attachments that I said before. But that's basically my review and my thoughts on Mega Man 11. It's definitely a fun game. I haven't beat it in normal or superhero yet. I am planning to, but it's going to be a very hard time. Of course, I don't have any footage because this is recorded on my phone, which I don't have. Or I do have a laptop, but I don't really use it that much. And I don't have a capture card. So yeah, there's nowhere for me to actually get the footage from unless I just look up a YouTube video, which is essentially stealing from other people's other people's content and monetization, which I don't want to do. But anyway, that is gonna wrap up the video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.